we go. Okay, so we're gonna work on our BEDMAS. I really should have given this a title, but it's also known as like order of operations. Do they call that for you also? Order of
Yeah.
operations. Okay. So we have this question here. I don't need to rewrite it. I'm just actually going to draw your attention to stuff. Let's take a look at anything that looks like an inner bracket to start. Okay, so I'll kind of underline. We have a -3, we have a -4 plus 8, and we have a -2. Let's just go through them kind of left to right, the way that we read. Okay, since there's 3 of them, and they're not like one within the other, though there is a set. The very first one, -3, that number is by itself. So we can leave it for now. There is something we can do with it when we go to refer to this operation outside of it, but we'll leave it for now just because there's not much we can do. The second one here, there's 2 numbers in this bracket, so we can simplify these. This is not best practice, but I'm going to jump this little line here. That -4 plus 8, so if you put those together, you're actually going to end up with +4. So I'm going to rewrite the rest of this stuff. I have open bracket, -6 plus -3 minus, and then that becomes a +4. Then we have a closing square bracket multiplied by 4 divided by -2. Okay. If we take a look at the third set of brackets here, so we'll take a look at the 3. Again, -3 again by itself, 4 by itself, -2 by itself. All those are by itself, so there's actually nothing we can really do in terms of simplifying them inside. So the next step we want to do is to actually drop these brackets. So to drop these brackets, we have to look at the operation outside of them. Okay? So we'll take a look at this -3. There's a positive sign in front of it, and there's a negative sign in here. So essentially, think of it like you're adding -3, but you can simplify this. I don't know if you're familiar with the rules when multiplying like positive and negative integers, what they're equal to. Yeah, so positive times a positive is a positive. A negative times a positive is a negative. Negative times negative is a positive. And then this one here, I rewrote it because you can write them in different orders, but they always end up being a negative. Really, essentially, if you have 2 opposites, they end up as a negative. I want you to think of your simplifying. If we have a plus beside a negative, so there's no number in between, we can simplify it using this same set of multiplication rules for integers. So plus minus, well, if I look at my rules, that simplifies to just a negative sign. So I'm going to rewrite the next line. We're just going to continuously to simplify. So we end up with, well, plus minus, that's the same as negative. So I'm just going to, instead of writing both operations, I'm just going to write -3. Technically, this is a +4. Same idea. A minus plus, that simplifies to just a -4. And now we have our square set of brackets. We still have multiplication, and we have a bit of a doozy here because we have division minus, divided by -2. Those 2 operations don't really simplify because it's a division and a negative symbol. We'll have to kind of work with that negative after. We still have our other set of brackets to solve with. So this one here. So we're going to deal with these 3 values, and then we're going to deal with everything once the brackets are done, okay? So if we take a look here, -6, -3, -4, essentially think of it like you're on a number line at -6, and then you're going to go back 3. So that's going to take you to -9, and then you're going to go back 4 from there, which is going to take you to -13. Okay? So all of that actually equates to -13. Okay? Which is going to be times 4 and then divided by -2. From here, in your BEDMAS, you have division and multiplication. Technically, it's just what order they come in when we write it. So even though it looks like division is first, these 2 kind of clump together, and same with addition and subtraction. We just read left to right. So the next step here is to take -13 and multiply it by 4. So -13 times 4. We'll move down this page a little. So on the right here, I'm kind of doing my calculations. You have a calculator, you could always jump ahead. I know it's a positive times a negative, so that's going to be a negative answer. And then we have 3 times 4, which is 12. We carry the 1, and 4 times 1, which is 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have -52. And then that's still, actually I'll write down in red because that's our new number, 2. And then we're still going to be divided by negative 2. This is the same as the multiplication rules. A negative divided by a negative, that's actually going to give us a positive value. So I know I'm going to have a positive. And then really I just have 52 divided by 2. You might want to use a calculator, but I can quickly do this. That becomes 4, 1, 12, 6. There we go. So we end up with an answer of positive 26 at that point. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot to that question.